I guess that didn't work for radio.
Oh, hey, and welcome. Here it is. It's a Wednesday. It's a hump day, and it's April 29th.
Hump day!
46 days, Keegan, since restaurant dining rooms have been shut down.
Is that real?
46 days.
Holy. It feels,
March 16th.
Some days it feels longer, some days it doesn't.
The voice of Keegan Gerhard in studio as you guys are joining us right now on the Modern Eater stream, live from Studio Kitchen, Colorado. Physical distancing, myself, Greg Hollenbach, Jay Parker.
2 grocery carts away from each other.
And Chef Keegan Gerhard from D-Bar. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. I'm glad you're still alive.
We are live.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, you're pretty, what's the word?
What, quarantine?
Yeah,
Shelter?
you're pretty quarantined in here.
We're sheltered in place.
Cinder blocks.
Right. I know. Share this video. It's going to be a good one, and we're going to have a spirited conversation. And as we're rebooting America. We're rebooting America. Did you know that?
Man, I'm just trying one day at a time.
Just
understand how to make people happy with to-go. I don't know if I can consider America.
Oh, man, the conversation's going to be good and spirited. I'm heading over to the Modern Eater Facebook page right now to share this video as we are live. Great show for you lined up today. And, again, in studio, Chef Keegan Gerhard. Chris Franklin from Lever's Locavore. Yesterday, our winner of the $50 gift card to Lever's Locavore, all she had to do was go to our YouTube channel, Keegan. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel and then comment in the video. And,
I was going to say, I want one.
Pick someone random.
That's all I got to do.
We can get you one right now. I mean,
immediately. I'm gonna subscribe.
Today, same thing. Subscribe and then comment in the live video today on YouTube. And yesterday's winner, Sarah English. Sarah, congratulations.
Woo!
Here you go, $50. So just email us, themoderneater@gmail.com. Jonathan Shikes, Westward, Colorado Beer Man. He'll be on. And a terrible, terrible headline that I read. 60% of Colorado craft breweries will go under before summertime.
What in the world? Is that real?
What? That's what I read. Is it real? I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
I want to talk to them. Where do those stats come from? I have a feeling that a lot of people get surveys, and they want to make the darkest picture possible.
Whoa. Wow.
But 60%, man.
I think people have gotten used to the fact, it's really serious, it's really severe, but until they see whether or not people can rebound, I think the restaurant industry maybe it won't be 60, but a bunch of us, me included, a bunch of us may not be here next year.
Attrition. Yeah, boy. That's going to be a lot of the conversation. And then the pivot points, because we've been seeing a lot of spectacular things out of folks.
Oh, yeah.
Pivoting and innovation has just been grand and at its highest right now. Keegan in 60 seconds, right? Let's get to know seconds. You ready? Keegan in 60 seconds.
Oh, wow, that's rough.
Chocolate or pastry?
Is that an answer?
Huh?
They're the same?
That's an answer?
They're the same?
Sweet or savory?
Chocolate's a part of pastry?
Sweet. Sweet.
Duh.
Hot rod or a boat?
Oh, gosh. Hot rod. Boat's a money pit.
Boat's a money pit. New York or L.A.?
So's a Jeep. New York when I'm in a good mood. L.A. when I'm in bad.
Really? That's interesting. It's kind of like alcohol. Well, happy or sad. I'll have a little bit of booze.
You didn't tell me we were doing not for nothing.
That's
with
okay.
Keegan.
All right. That's okay. I know your answer to this one, but football or football?
Oh, football. I mean, soccer. Come on.
Soccer.
Football.
Front of the house or back of the house?
Unity.
Great
Both.
answer.
One answer. One heart.
Smartest person you know?
Besides me?
Sure. Besides you is a perfectly acceptable answer.
Actually, everybody that knows me, unfortunately, probably I knew he was going to say that. I feel like everybody's smarter than me. I'll throw out there Adam Schlegel. Smart guy.
Yes.
Smart where I want to be smart. Like, smart in business. Smart in, yeah. There's a lot, though. Leo Kiley. I will say that.
Who's
Leo
Leo
Kiley. He is a dear friend, mentor. He is retired now. He was the only CEO that Coors had ever hired that wasn't part of the Coors family to run Coors. And he just had a history of running these big, huge companies, and he can summarize every problem in one sentence.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Study up on him. Okay, your favorite holiday?
Oh, gosh, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Food?
Yeah,
Sit around table? Friends, family?
Food, and I don't spend enough time being grateful during the year. And it definitely, after you get whooped, and then you're just so tired, at least in our industry on Thanksgiving, you make 800 pies, and then you're dead the next day, and you're like, ooh, that was rough.
Yeah.
Oof, I'm grateful. Better than selling no pies.
Mountains or beach?
Both.
Both. Take them both in.
I mean, that's why we did. We don't have it now, but we did D-Bar San Diego for 3.5, almost 4 years.
I wish I could have gone to that one.
Yeah, and then you know what? That space is.
Where was it?
It was right next door to Snooze and Hillcrest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Snooze is still there, and then the seafood place went in after us, and they didn't make it a year, and now it's just sitting empty. It's such a gorgeous spot. I think it was just too pricey for the neighborhood.
I love San Diego.
Wow, so great. Mountains. Right now, mountains. I'm so excited to get into the mountains. I cheated a little this weekend, and I went where there was nobody in the Jeep, and but
All right, last one.
We're so
Best
lucky.
place you and Lisa Bailey have ever been on vacation?
Oh, we're super blessed. We get to travel a lot for food. That's hard to answer. I'm going to say I was a guest chef for Holland America, and we went across the Pacific on a ship from Peru to Australia and went all around Easter Island.
Wow.
All those places.
How
that you
long
hear
did
about.
that last?
11 fun-filled days.
11 fun-filled days and nights.
Yeah. Easter Island was remarkable, I'll just say. And there is a black and white movie out there, in case you're interested, and you need to watch something random. In the second Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the second version of that, where the Oompa Loompas were all the same guy, that guy is the chief of Easter Island.
He is the chief and should be mascot of
Black
Easter
and white.
Island.
It's pretty remarkable.
Thank you guys for joining us today. Chef Keegan Gerhard in studio with us at Studio Kitchen, Colorado. It looks a little different in here, doesn't it?
Don't I? Hey, by the way, I don't normally dress like a Labrador Retriever, but, you're supposed to wear a mask.
Yes,
Right? So
absolutely.
Shouldn't we be wearing one?
You know what? We're 6 feet apart. It's just the three of us.
Yeah, but you guys are
We
mouth
took your
breathers.
temperature the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I'm not sick.
And
Physically.
physically sick. Okay, let's dig in. How you been? How you, the wife?
Hey, listen, I think pretty fortunate all in all. I don't know if we're as sharp as a lot of these people that were just seemingly no problem to just kind of roll right into takeout delivery to go. We gave it a go for like a week, and then they came out with the stay-at-home mandate, and I took that pretty seriously. And I'm like, you know what? I couldn't swallow the idea that someone would come to D-Bar and go and get someone sick. Like, like me.
For sure.
Like the restaurant being attached to someone getting COVID-19. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
And in a time when the only thing that was certain was uncertainty.
Yeah. And everybody was basically like, they're trying to be troopers, but they were all afraid.
Yeah.
So we closed till they lifted. They kind of changed it. I know for whatever reason, our governor and our mayor don't ever seem to be on the same page.
Never, no.
But when Polis changed it to safer at home, whatever that means, we took that as an opportunity to get ready for some sort of opening, because I don't know what it'll be. I think it'll be highly limited, which will be very hurtful to restaurants. But if it's half seating, no restaurant can survive on half seating.
Oh, absolutely.
But we can't not open. So we're just trying to practice and get ready. And I'm just psyched to be back to serving people again. We started back on Monday. So
Fantastic. I am a D-Bar. I'm on the D-Bar mailing list.
Oh, you are? Cool.
So I get all the updates
Good.
come into me. So I knew when you closed down and saw the update of coming back. D-Bar's back, and I'm on the website right now, actually. And
it's interesting. People wanted us to bring back the marketplace, and I was really surprised about that. And I'm not comfortable with it right now, because it ends up becoming kind of a hard goods buffet, and it's just too much contact and too much in there. We're trying to do it as contactless as possible. But
so during the shutdown, what was just lights off?
Lights off.
Yeah.
For everybody, we laid off everybody, including ourselves. I've never filed for unemployment in my life till this year. It's just super weird. I don't even know if I did it right. I'm not sure if it worked.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, we did, because what are you going to do? I don't know.
Well, you're going to close the doors, and you're going to figure out how much money you have and how much money you owe at that point
Right?
in time.
I mean, listen, it's one thing about what's your business model moving forward. I read an article. I should have come prepared to give you guys a link to it, but it was a chef in New Zealand. She did a really amazing article about this. Just shines the spotlight on how weak our industry is. No one's really ready. No one's really financially viable. No one can really go 1, 2, 3 months without income. The margins are too small. This is an opportunity to take back Because, we don't bring enough to the bottom line. We have a great restaurant. We do tons of business. We don't bring enough to the bottom line. So if you're working on a 6 to 8% margin, what's 2% less? Suddenly you're at 4% to the bottom line. 4%. I mean, Jay, you're not a mathematician, but give us a really simple example of 4%. How about this?
Oh, God.
$4 off 100.
We give you a raise.
$4 off 100.
Jay, we give you a raise. You make $1. Okay, you make $1.
I make
now,
$1.
not 50 cents.
$1.40.
$1, no, $1.
Oh.
You make $1.
Okay.
How much do you take home if you bring 4% to the bottom line?
40 cents.
4 cents.
4 cents.
4 cents.
Move the decimal.
4 cents, guys. Come on.
No, I get it.
That's not viable.
For sure. But you know what? Some of the best restaurants, profitability-wise,
Yeah.
of off the bottom line, 6-7%. Some of the best.
Some of the very best, 10.
Yeah.
10%. 10% of $3 million.
So small margins, we know, right?
Very small margins.
And
very little wiggle room.
Yes.
No room for mistakes.
None. And so here you are faced with, is it a new business?
I mean, listen, kind of.
Yeah.
I heard some smart people around right now. They're changing their business model even as we speak. Like, let's see what the labor is. Let's build it. Let's build 35% labor to that. Then let's see where we're at. All in. That's the way you got to do it right now. You can't staff it the way you want to give great service. It's almost the opposite. It's almost like how little can we get away with? But that's not what we're doing right now. We applied. I mean, this to bring up a controversial topic. We applied for PPP. We applied for the EIDL loan as well.
Anything?
Got the PPP. Haven't heard anything on the EIDL.
Okay.
So the problem with the EIDL loan is, well, a couple of things. It gives you a whole bunch of money that you can't spend right away, so you don't know what to do.
Right.
It also doesn't allow you to pay business debt or pass through AP invoices unless you want that to be a loan. So that's a problem. And so it's interesting. People are like, oh, I'm going to staff up, and I don't know, man.
Staff up for what?
Staff up.
And then you change it's almost like a football team. It's like you're a wide receiver, but now you're going to be quarterback.
Staff up and then let them all go?
Well, that's the interesting thing. So PPP you got, right?
Yeah.
And the provisions in the PPP, I think 75% labor, and then the other 25 goes towards rent or certain
utilities.
Things. Utilities. So
no debt, though.
With bringing folks back, number one, how it was structured, this is beyond me, to where tipped employees are making more money sitting on the bench than going back to work.
So are some cooks.
Yeah.
I mean, if they are, the ones that are, in fact, getting the $600 on top of the unemployment, so then suddenly you have to be the bad guy as an employer and say, I offered you work and you turned it down, so I'm going to turn you in. So you're going to turn your team in that you said, hey, why don't you file for unemployment attached?
Yeah, what do you do with that?
That's a toughie. We just said, listen, here's the deal. I don't think we're making the right, we don't have the answers to everything, but where we need someone actually, quote unquote, full time, 32 hours or more, we schedule them. Where we don't, if we schedule somebody 30 hours, arguably they can still get unemployment, and that's completely on them. So I've heard a lot of people, I'm sure much wiser than me, say, I don't want their attention split. I want them here or I want them not here. And they're making sure that the ones they have there are full time. I'll tell you this, though. This is the hardest pill for me to swallow. My singular interface with the guest right now, besides what I don't have control over, DoorDash. I got nothing. Like, put up a menu, right?
Yeah. So funny you said that, man, because of what the last note, because I didn't want to interrupt you, what I write.
The experience.
So
where's the hospitality experience?
Well, you tell me, because that's interesting. A lot of the things, you make beautiful art, with a lot of your pastries and your cakes and food that you bring out and how it's plated and the bar program and just going into deep bar. It's all experience-based. You're out of that business right now.
I mean, we say that, right? We say we were trying to create a dining experience, not just a meal. And that's been taken away. You can only make something so sexy in a compostable cardboard box.
And it breaks your heart, right?
Does.
First thing that you said to me is, like, you got to eat this now, Greg.
Yeah.
Jay,
hey, listen.
Jay, get on that.
Worse yet.
And thank you for the food, by the way.
Of course.
D-Bar's open, just so you guys know.
You're so welcome. Yeah, delivery and to-go. On our website, we deliver our own through Toast, or you can do Grubhub or DoorDash.
dbardenver.com, 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Every day.
Every single day. I mean,
Bailey turned the cake switches back on. That was one thing that people were really flipping out about. They couldn't get special cake, specialty cake. So
now that stuff can translate into go.
It can, for sure.
Yeah.
And we're super blessed. We have a lot of people who have been buying cakes from us for years. And this is a big season for that with graduation and whatnot. People are going to celebrate that in some fashion. This coming Wednesday is National Nurses Day, which I hope this whole country is planning on making a big damn deal about. I know we certainly are.
Yeah, more than just going outside at 8 p.m. and howling,
right?
Type of thing.
Yeah, no, come on, nurses. Oh my God, I can't even understand what they've done for this country. Like, there's no way to reward them enough. But we're gonna have these kits for your nurse heroes that people can take and share, and we're certainly going to go because the hospitals have been a huge part of the D-Bar DNA since day one. We're all right around Rose and right around St. Joe's, and it's just it's heartbreaking to me. So I want to we can't help, but we're going to try to make them the focus. Hell, I think it should be Nurses Week. I don't think it should be day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next week should just be on them.
And so get a little something sweet to eat and be happy for a minute or two.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Buy one for you and buy one for a nurse.
That's fantastic.
We'll deliver it.
Will you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So you are using the DoorDash. What are you using?
We are using DoorDash and Grubhub. And they they've been overwhelmed, as you can imagine, as well. Yeah. So we think we finally gotten it integrated where it's integrated into our website. They're pretty clever the way they do it. I guess finance-wise, the cheapest way is for us to deliver our own, and you can do that through Toast.
Well, will you transfer folks that would have been your front of the house people into delivery roles?
Oh yeah, they have. We changed in that regard. We changed our model to you don't know where the tips are. People are actually being very generous right now. But so we're paying everybody $15 an hour, and we're tip pooling for the whole crew.
So back to experience.
Yeah.
And
listen, can I just tell you where's the one place you've eaten out to go where you went and had a good experience so far in 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
Well, zero. Haven't gone.
I went to a burger place, National Burger Place.
Well, you didn't go sit down in there.
Not a chain, no. Went to go get specifically.
Oh, you're saying go get something
curbside.
From there. Okay, curbside.
I want to see.
I've had a couple.
I want to see who's doing curbside good, right?
You know what? Fruition had a really great dish that translated well.
Hey, and was the experience interacting with them good?
Yes.
Of course. Why? Because they're a good restaurant.
They're pros. Yeah.
Right? Chook, amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Guess what wasn't?
What? Are you going to say? It was a national place?
It was national.
You can do it if it's national.
Chain.
You can do it.
Ish.
You can go.
What's it rhyme with?
It rhymes with...
Good times?
It's sort of like Caddyshack.
Shake Shack.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't. I'm just...
It's one poor little girl out there.
Yeah.
Doing her best at this place.
Yeah.
Which I haven't named. The DoorDash guy hitting on her. Her hands full with people trying to... Just a mess. Not a bad experience.
Your lens is different, though.
Not a bad experience?
Yeah.
No experience.
Okay.
How can you put all the experience on that poor girl? Right? And so that's the first thing I thought. Whoever works the front, what are they going to be able to do to make this person that's afraid to be here enjoy the experience?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
You can't give everybody a car. Like, here's a car.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? So we're just trying to be friendly and genuine.
So is that what it is? Because the Armadas from Sam's number 3, the Sam and Alex came on.
Yep.
And they were rebooted. Just that same day, we're rebooting. Their downtown location shut down. Glendale, they're getting back up and running. And then in Aurora, they're doing something. Alex was in Glendale. And he showed us around. And some of the things that as folks are ramping back up to opening. He's got the parking lot with cones in it to where here's where you go, and they've got folks are getting their temperatures taken when they come in. The staff is all in line. So I think, and so what are the variables for you? We don't know. I mean, it could be next week. First of all, I got to ask you if you have the constraints of 50% capacity, would you even mess with it, or are you going to wait?
I will.
You will mess with it.
I think I'll focus on patio first.
Yes.
And patio, we have 30 seats on our patio, so that's a big help.
Yes.
But I will mess with it just because anybody that desires to give it a go, nobody wants to be the tip of the spear, but anybody that wants to give it a go, we're going to show them that we can handle serving them safely. You know, this is the thought that goes through my heart every single day that I've ever been open. It's a huge responsibility that people give us as cooks and as a restaurant. Prepare food I'm going to put into my body. And I'm going to trust it's going to be safe. And in this day and age, I think one of the number one things, culture in place, hospitality in place, experience in place, but you have to gain the public's trust that your establishment is actually safe. And then the fun and all that can come after.
So will you put the plan in motion and then sit in there as a customer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
First. Yeah. Anybody like you guys, anybody willing to come give it a go first and just criticize the crap
Poke holes
out of
in
us.
it, right?
Just poke holes in
Did
every
you feel
piece
like
of
it was, and the magnifying glass is going to be on your folks working for you. The any sense of disheveledness, or out of place, or not cleanly, could maybe had a little bit of a pass pre-coronavirus, but right now, the microscope's going to be on you.
You know, it's interesting. You think about the idea of self-control, right? I think we've had this chat before. I was, born and raised in Germany, military, engineering dad. There's no gray area. You are on time or you are not. You are right or you are wrong. There's no right?
Yeah.
So when people do things like, I don't know, leave a table dirty at the end of the night and go home,
wrong.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sorry, Chef, I forgot.
Yeah. Blows your mind.
Did you? That's really weird. Do you ever forget to wipe your butt when you make poo-poo?
Right, no.
I'll bet you don't. How is that?
Yeah.
How is that possible? You never forget?
Right.
What if I next week forgot to pay you?
Yeah.
Would that be weird for you?
Yeah.
Because you forget stuff.
No, I mean, listen, Jay here. I mean,
those are all the same.
Well, I mean,
Well,
come
Jay,
on,
you
Chef.
forget
There's a little.
to wipe when poo-poo
There's
sometimes.
let me just say this. There's in my opinion,
There's
there's
gray
a
areas?
small amount of gray area to where it's like I know I got to clean table 13 before I go, and I'm doing my rest of my closing stuff, and it falls out of my brain.
Because I forgot every word for
I
you.
leave the restaurant.
Jay can't be a server in my restaurant.
No, you can't. Or in any
I'm
other
just saying.
restaurant.
Now, I'm not saying I would give Chef that excuse when he asked me the next day. I would just say,
I'd be
I don't
terrified.
oh, my God. It's like Chef. It's like Keegan and the Juan Padros.
Jay would say-
and like those guys, I think they're my boss no matter what I'm doing
No,
or where they're at. They
they've
come
never
in.
given you $1. I know.
I feel like I have to, like before Keegan got here, you
listen,
saw me. I'm straightening up the kitchen. I'm like, listen, I can't have this in the corner. Like, Chef will yell at me that this
You
is over
can't.
here.
I'm not. Yeah.
Not yell at me, but you know what I mean. Like,
Juan
it's
Padro,
your.
I'm not in the same category. That guy is.
He's a beast.
Listen, everybody has been just on every word of Colorado Restaurant Association and Eat Denver right now. By the way, speaking of two things that need a shout out, the restaurant, I'm so grateful to be in Denver with my restaurant with those resources. Just Katie has been ridiculous with Eat Denver. And Juan is like everybody's guru. I don't know how that guy's getting through the day.
Because he thrives in situations like this.
Spa vacation.
Crisis is like the guy's middle name.
This is one of the things. What if somebody gets sick? Right. That's one of my things right now. What if somebody on my team gets sick?
Yeah.
If I may, I didn't ask him permission, but I what he has done, what he shared. He shared it on a webinar, so I'm assuming he's fine with us saying. But it's so smart. So he made teams to work in the restaurant. Right. I don't know if they're teams of 3, 4, or 5. Let's just make it easy. Team of 5. One person on that team gets sick with COVID-19. That team out, right? All the other teams rotate. So everybody they worked with no longer in rotation. As opposed to one person gets sick. Who do they work with? I don't know. Let's shut the whole restaurant down.
Genius.
Like, so genius. And I'm just.
That's good.
So there's so much of that floating around on every level that I'm just trying to grab the crumbs and.
Hey, you want to go back to the smartest person you know thing? We'll throw Juan in there.
Heck yeah.
We'll put Juan in
Juan
there.
Padro.
He is, and he's in the news. Last night he was helping out. I saw it on Fox 31 or something. An Ethiopian restaurant that needed a little hand up, so they didn't go. There was Juan. He
really?
swooped in, helped
So
him out.
and listen, I mentioned that. Schlegel. I think they're in the same boat, and they are both on the it's mayor or state or whatever economic council. They get it. They get it on every level, way more than I do. Unfortunately, I still see things from a cook's perspective. I don't always have it all down, but I'm so grateful to just be able to be around and learn from those dudes. And it's this is a weird time to be inspired, but I am oddly inspired that if we are smart and pay attention to the needs of our guests and to the safety of everyone involved, we'll come out of this better on the other side. I think so.
I need to be respectful because you said half an hour stop point. Can I have 10 minutes more of your time?
10 minutes.
Fantastic.
When's the last time we did 30 minutes without a commercial? You guys are like just.
You want one?
Are you just swimming in sponsorship right now?
You want me to
Yeah,
give you
can I do one?
Sure.
Can I do one for somebody
But
I actually
here's the
use?
thing, but leave the top out of it. Well, yeah, who do you use the Spice Guy? Zach Johnston? No?
Spice Guys, no.
Okay.
Hot schedules.
Hot schedules.
There
We
you
use
go.
them.
Please.
I saw your sign.
But you have to, because there's nothing written, I just go off of it. So if you want to say something nice about hot schedules.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody knows hot schedules because it saves you time in writing your schedule. You probably didn't also know that they have HR and payroll services.
Yes, they do, which can be valuable for folks that aren't experts in those types of things.
Because currently my potty mouth pastry sous chef is my director of HR. That's probably not working for us
Is
very
that
well.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they have that layer of protection for you, Keegan.
Hey, listen, Hot Schedules is one of those companies. I think during this, what I was most impressed by were the companies and the individuals who had the confidence to communicate early. And Hot Schedules did that for us. They understand that, hey, next month you're not open, so you probably don't want to pay us. You know, like, why not say first?
Yeah, don't lose them.
Like, yeah, why not say first, how can we help you? Like, you're going to need to message your team about when work does come available. How can we make that easier? As opposed to a place like Massage Envy that's charging you $35 a month, but you can't have a massage. Oh, really?
Is that true?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Because you want to remain an active member? Am I active if I can't get a massage?
No, you're not.
No. Can I just pause it like gyms
No,
do?
you can't.
You greedy bastards.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just.
So so there's your camera. So just do hot schedules powered by Fourth from Chef Keegan Gerhard. And I think
Powered
we're
by
done.
what?
Powered by Fourth.
Oh, yeah, it is. Hot Schedules powered by Fourth. We use it at D-Bar.
Yes, they do. That's so sweet. Who was it before? He talked about John Irvin and gluten-free things. That was John Irvin's highlight of his life from gluten-free things. When
God
you said
bless that
something
guy.
Nice about it.
It take-
He's probably on the stream right now.
He
I
already is.
guarantee.
He's talking about how
Listen, I don't-
Keegan's dad was an engineer and John was an engineer, and he's like, I knew that it had to rub off on him
Are we
somehow.
both Sagittarians? Listen, I'm serious when I say God. I can't bake. I could bake gluten-free. It takes the soul out of it for me. So God bless somebody that
He has no soul,
They
so it
can.
works
No,
out
he
perfect.
does. He's got a different. His is different.
Built
He has the heart for people who can't have gluten, and that doesn't occur to me. You know, so I'm a celebration of sugar and butter and flour,
Absolutely.
and so genuinely, God bless him because it's a thing. You know, years ago, Panera was like, "This is a trend. We're not going to do the gluten-free thing." But guess what?
Do you do it?
Do what? Meaning eat it or
Gluten-free thing.
we have lots of gluten-free things.
Oh, you do?
Probably the two biggest things for us. Our chocolate molten cake has always been gluten-free, which is important for people. Thank God chocolate has got no gluten in it. And we also do a gluten-free version of our grandma's chocolate cake. I brought you a slice of the cake. This is the regular one.
Oh, yes.
But quite frankly,
Jay, we're fighting over that.
The gluten-free version of that, and we don't do anything crazy. We use a flour substitute that anyone can buy, and it turns out really good. In fact, if anything, it's not quite as rich, which is a relief for some people. I don't know how people say
Well,
something.
you're setting yourself up for John to bring you 1,000 of his chocolate cupcakes.
Too chocolatey. That's what people love to say that about our cake. It's too chocolatey.
You got the bar program going?
Yes, we do. How did I ever bring you drinks?
That's all right.
Margaritas. We're even doing one of our sweet cocktails because people are asking for our chocolatini. But yes, following all the rules of to-go, which by the way, if anyone at the government is listening, it's supposed to stop tomorrow.
Is it really?
Supposed to
I
stop
think
on the
they'll be
30th.
lenient about
I would.
that.
Lenient?
Yeah. And I also think they'll let you extend your patio to
I wish we
where-
could see our
into the
audience.
street.
Who's willing to risk their liquor license and continue serving to-go alcohol?
Are you?
No.
No. I mean, why would you?
Please extend
But
it.
it's the
government.
Wild West out there right now.
It
Keegan.
kind of is, isn't it?
really is.
Because who's monitoring all this?
Um,
Denver is the land of do it and ask forgiveness later.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to sell weed at D-Bar anytime
No way. We're
soon.
just putting it in the food. We just don't say anything.
Putting it in the food. So
Why is this so good?
why?
We
yeah,
just
that's right.
don't say anything. He goes, we put it in the food. We just
That's
don't
what,
say
that's
anything.
what
coming back.
Coca-Cola did that in
Yeah.
the 20s with
Little
cocaine.
cocaine.
Yeah.
Then it got pricey, and they're like, okay,
That's it.
that's it. We're out.
Pull the plug. So, ingredients. Let's talk about ingredients. You've pared down your menu quite a bit.
We actually have, yeah.
Yeah. What does that look like?
Hey, look, that was a pretty easy decision for us. financially, not emotionally. Because we love to say quantity, quality over quantity, but then we have a ginormous menu. But our business on paper, 80% of our revenue comes from 20% of the items. And oddly, some of the most original things that have been on since day one 12 years ago, like the pizza salad sandwich, the mac and cheese, the crew fries, the Belgian. So we are offering like the D-Bar favorites with a couple of little things thrown in for people that eat there all the time. Because D-Bar's a funny place. It's people that come 2-3 times a week. Some of my favorite people that live in the building where D-Bar is located in one city block. This gal wrote a book, an engineering book, at our bar. Just came every day. Had a happy hour food, had a cocktail.
How'd you find that out? That's
come on. You see a woman every single day for 3 months or 6 months. You're like, hey, what you doing? And
wrote a book.
Yeah, I wrote a book. And so it's we just tried to focus on what sells best. We just imagined that would be what people missed most.
Sure.
The cake and shake. It's a silly thing, but people have been beating down the doors to get it. And asking us to ship it when we were closed. I know you're closed, but can you make a cake? No. Closed is closed.
Give us an idea. It's easy for let's go into like working out. It's easy to work. You work out, and you're in a rhythm.
Is it easy?
You're going well. I think if you're in a rhythm and then you stop, it's easy to stop.
Oh yeah.
But to start back up again, that's an interesting thing for a restaurant. What's it take to start back up? And with that being said, are you going to take like 3 proteins and 10 different vegetables and make as much different stuff as you can, or are you going to go full bore again?
Hey, listen, it came down to 2 things for us. It came down to trying to keep it simple, stupid, right? If ever there was a time, this is the time for the KISS thing. And but also, I thought about vendor relationships. Who we buy it from and who they are. Are they a ginormous, mega thing that I don't know? Or, like we buy sausage from Polidori Sausage. We buy our beef from Tonali's Meats.
Yeah.
Like, those are humans. Those are families.
People.
Like,
doing business with
Shamrock's a local vendor. We use Shamrock. We've used all kinds of people, but I looked at relationships and I looked at keeping it simple, and we got beef and chicken at the moment.
Cool.
And then people freaked out that we don't have our salmon salad, so now we have to have salmon.
Gotcha. Right. Okay, so that's kind of cool too. For you being gone, how long were you gone? 4 weeks? 5 weeks. You had a real neighborhood contingency of folks that liked to come see you. Was it kind of hard to turn the faucet off because you didn't want those folks to go date somebody else, so to speak? Or had that been even a thought in your mind? And turning it back on to saying, hey, let's date again? Are they showing up for you?
Well, I guess I'll start on the back side. I'll start on this side and say people have definitely showed up. Like, we got a beat down on Monday.
Fantastic.
And we had to turn all the pads, the platforms off because we ran out of food. So we didn't know what to guess. We guessed 1.5 times a normal Monday, Tuesday, and we got whooped. We were out of everything by 6. So thank you to the Uptown community in Denver for showing up for us, number one. And then on the other side, I don't ever view serving food. I don't know why. It never occurs to me to be jealous that they'll go somewhere else. I feel like that's like if I'm the boyfriend, right? And she likes
I see what you're going with this.
Muscular.
Yeah. Be secure in yourself.
Tall, dark, and handsome guy. That's not me. So you don't want me. So go have that.
Yeah.
But when you're ready for this, come get it.
Come get some.
Like that's so. Not to. I don't want to say. I don't want to mean to be.
I mean, that's as good as you can get. That's a very, very smart answer.
I mean, I don't mean to be cheesy about this, but on the front side, or I guess now it's the back side, closing. Like, I have never laid off. We opened our restaurant in 2008. In 9/11,
So you opened in a downturn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, I've never had to lay anyone off, much less everyone off. Like, and then tell everybody, sorry, no, we're closed, because a lot of people weren't closed.
Yeah.
And gosh, there's a few times in your life when you really have to look at yourself and know where your heart is. And my heart told me we have to be safe. We have to keep our team safe. We have to keep the community safe. And we have to focus on having a viable business for everyone. our employees, our team, and the guests to come back to when
Yes.
this is all said and done. And that's what we've done.
One of the things that we've been kicking around here is kind of we're being in the pruning process, pruning the trees to make the trunk very
Interesting.
safe and healthy. Because how can you have this branch nourished and flourishing if the trunk is unhealthy?
Wow, yeah, that's a good analogy.
And so getting that trunk healthy, and I think that that's probably what a lot of folks want to do is like, how can I serve you guys if I'm not serving myself or my business?
It's really smart, and I'm also scared because I've killed like 4 bonsai trees.
You didn't prune them right.
I didn't prune them right.
You didn't prune them. You just pruned the restaurant right.
Now
too.
I'm nervous.
Your support system is big.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
I'm
Talk
so
about
grateful.
that support system.
Listen,
Folks
you
around
see see the comments like, what
And
they
by the
would-
way, I'm not going to kick you out. You're on notice now that time's up. You can leave when you want to.
Okay. I'm just, you see the comments about people, what they wouldn't do for this or that, or, oh my gosh, best thing in Uptown, or, Bailey and I, we took the Jeep and went to some ghost towns this weekend. And, and then I saw someone post St. Elmo's right where we were. And I was like, what? We were in St. Elmo's. And he's like, my kids all were like, God, I wish there was a D-bar to stop at on the way home. Like the idea that D-bar is part of people's lifestyle.
True.
That was a dream for us.
Mm-hmm.
That was, it's one thing for people to love your food and it's, but when you talk about like your week's not complete unless you have date night at D-bar this week, like that's a dream. That was a dream for us. And it seems like to some people that's happened. And I feel a tremendous responsibility to carry that on because it's an oddball restaurant, right? We have such a huge pastry component, but we're a full-service restaurant, and we have the cake piece too. So it used to be one family. Now there's a dozen families that they had their first date at D-Bar. They got engaged at D-Bar. We made their wedding cake.
Amazing.
They've had kids. We did their baby shower.
Wow.
We've done their 1-year birthday.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Kids that I took pictures with when they were in 6th grade have graduated college now. And they come back in and make me feel old AF, I think is what the kids are saying
Yes.
these days. So
But
it's
transcends through time.
but what a blessing.
Yeah.
Golly.
I hate to get dark. We'll do one dark question.
Okay.
What would take D-Bar down right now?
3 more months of this? For sure. Well, yeah, I mean, we don't have the resources to. I mean, unless some angel from outside came in and was like, hey, I love you guys so much that I want to give you money to make it through. 3 more months of this?
How about the attrition in the business itself? Some people would have said pre-coronavirus that there were too many restaurants in Denver to begin with.
Probably.
And it was showing that this kind of just the quickening. It hurried it along faster.
Similar to what the gal and that New Zealand gal was saying, right? I think we have a unique place in the restaurant community because some people don't even know we have food. Some people just think we're only dessert, and then other people come and are surprised to find. Some people only come for the crew fries and never stay for dessert. It's really odd. But as such, and I learned this when we opened in 2008 because we're stupid and we opened in a terrible year, we are kind of an affordable luxury. Like at that time in 2008, or you think about 9/11, like times like that where you're not going to go celebrate, probably, but you would take somebody and get them a slice of cake, and maybe a beer or a glass of wine, maybe not a bottle of Dawn, but you'd get them a glass of bubbles to celebrate their birthday, to celebrate their anniversary. So we're a very celebratory restaurant, and I think if anything happens in this country that just beats people down so completely that they lose the desire to celebrate life, then we're in real trouble. But as long as that's a thing in people's heart, I think we're going to be okay.
I don't think too many people, I don't think it's really set in yet as we reboot our streets and our businesses, and that folks aren't really in their businesses right now. But when it's free and clear and you can go drive down Main Street and you see 4 to 6 of your favorite places just gone.
Yeah.
The keys were thrown in and said, go
Talk to
go
some
get
of
the
our
place.
vendors, and they're telling us that half their other customers are already saying, oh, we won't be back.
With some of the most devastating fires leaves behind the most fertile soil, is it too early to look at opportunity?
Oh, I'm sure there are people looking at opportunity. I'm not smart, and I don't have that kind of vision. I wish I did. But, before this all hit, I was looking at people that were all about the ghost kitchens thing, right? And we have a commissary kitchen, and I wondered to myself, should that be a ghost kitchen? Should we just be doing, whatever Mexican?
Pop up, sure.
Well, this to-go platform, anybody that had to implement to-go properly as we had to, it's not going away. You know, like if you think you're just going to do this till you open again and get rid of it, you're missing out on.
What did Juan's group just do inside of Bardot? Jabronis, something like a sandwich shop. It sold out and whatever. So putting these concepts into a mechanism or a machine of smart folks, it almost seems to make sense. But I see a lot of guilty feelings, right? Like we have to be like, how are you doing? You have to say, under the circumstances, I'm okay.
Some people are killing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
is that okay to say?
I don't know if they say it. I'm not them. We're not killing it.
Yeah.
We're doing about
but
what we
expected. If you were, I mean, you're just dipping your toe right back in now. But
listen, the places I've heard about are the kind of places that people were accustomed to getting to-go food. Like I imagine, like
pizzas,
ramen, and like noodle places. Like it's no surprise they're doing great,
right?
Because I'm going to go where I always get my to-go, and I'm just going to get more of it. Pizza. I loved meeting this guy in San Diego. He's got like all these different things, but he's got this crappy little pizza shop down in the gas lamp.
Oh God!
I was like, you guys don't even try. Like you sell pizza, I get it. You're late night, I get it. But there's like cobwebs and shit, and you're like, you guys don't even try.
Interesting.
And he's like, dude, I make enough money in my pizza joint on Comic-Con weekend to be good for the whole year.
Oh, wow.
The other 364 days don't matter.
Yeah.
Or 2
Interesting,
days.
but pride of your business,
Yeah. So, it's no surprise to people, the smart operators that have been able to pivot and adapt, and the people that were go-to for delivery already are successful right now, maybe even more successful. Look, LA is a perfect example. I have so many friends and colleagues in LA. One of my besties calls and says, we're just catching up, and then he says, I'm like, so you've been getting to go from Jelena and all these places you want to go? Dude, they're on a wait. I can't get their delivery is on a wait until June. I don't even know how to do that. They're so dialed in, they know how much to go they can take 2 months out.
Yeah, Kelly Whitaker, we spoke with him the other day. He was at Basta and talking about Basta and Wolf's Taylor, that they're using a system called Talk, and he won't take an order until the next day. So he knows exactly how much, no food waste, exactly what he's making, takes kind of the onus off the kitchen in the sense of what they're preparing, and he's got it dialed in and sold out days ahead.
So if it's not on Talk, he's not making it.
He's not making it.
Well, there he goes. Just another example of somebody smarter than me.
Well,
I got chocolate cake in case you want it today.
Absolutely.
And a burger.
Local. We love local, man. I mean, that's our deal.
Yeah.
Local suppliers. Do you feel an obligation to kind of do what you can do locally as much as you possibly
100,
can?
100%. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, local is – it's so interesting how, generations love to believe they came up with something. Local is going back centuries. When, where you bought your bread 200 years ago in Europe in a little town from the baker. And
Butcher.
they're fourth generation baker, and that's who makes the bread. I guess it sucks if you hate your baker.
Yeah.
But or your butcher,
yeah,
right?
Sleeping with your wife.
But I blame you guys for, getting all fired up last summer and in the spring before that even about local farmers, and just the people that we met and it's better. I mean, it's better.
Oh, you met Scott and Jess at Field to Fork, didn't you?
Yeah, I love those guys at Field to Fork. Yeah. And Growers Organic is now a different company, but I don't have the bandwidth. Unfortunately, I know a lot of chefs do, and I'm amazed at them.
To get out there and source.
To really source, but those companies help us source better. Yeah. I mentioned Polidori before. I love those guys. They've been here forever, and they're local, and they're family-owned. I just love them to pieces, and Tonali's does, like Tonali's is a good example of people have been around forever, and they have the same mentality about beef as I do. Like ground beef scares me. Ground beef.
Yeah.
Like E. coli.
Just because of cutting room floor and all that stuff?
E. coli.
Okay.
On the outside.
Yeah.
Grind beef.
Yeah.
Now it's on the inside.
Yeah.
Don't cook it through. You're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So and I don't like proteins like that travel. So they're really smart. They get high-end prime stuff.
Yeah.
Full muscle stuff, and they grind it. They never transport it. It's always fresh. It's never frozen.
Hopefully you're not watching the national news right now with these meat packing plants. And that, to me, that just personifies why I like local connections, why I like to know that rancher. I mean, truly.
I can't get any chicken breasts today at any of the places I normally go, but around the country, they're burying and killing off, like, thousands of chickens because no one's buying them? It doesn't make sense. We're too big.
It's just like turning under the fields because it's cheaper to do that than to bring it to market.
But you know what? Your message and I think it's important everywhere around the country. It can't just be your message, but your message about local. That's one use of social media that I think is very powerful. Is, there's not a lot of not cool places anymore. I don't know how much you get to travel, but like you can go to like some place in Nebraska that you would never go. Like I went to Omaha last year. There was so many cool neighborhoods that like there was a place that felt like the upper part of the Pearl in Portland, and it's partly because people's quality of life, but it's partly because it used to take years for it to drip what was cool to drip down. Now you see it immediately.
I'm so afraid that's going to go away, Keegan.
I hope it doesn't.
I'm so afraid to see this ripple effect just devastate what will take years to come back, and now we're just stuffing our face with breadsticks at Olive Garden. I mean,
hey, listen, I rewatched some Jimmy Fallon because I got tired of the home thing.
Yeah.
And I got to say, when he had Post Malone on there and they went to Olive Garden in Times Square, the best thing I've ever seen. It's Post Malone's favorite restaurant.
Is it really?
And Jimmy had never been. And they're just giving him the wine and giving him he's like, what do you pay for here? Like he couldn't understand it.
I have to. Speaking of that, what has this done? You're a media guy. With Last Cake Standing, and I was into that just a few months back, and now you're just, is that everything on the shelf? Is anything being recorded now?
Not that I know of. You look at some big shows, look at American Idols, just did their first episode. That's ABC, so they did their first show at 26 remote locations. So it's about not gathering more than 10 people. The technology's helping. I mean, come on. American Idol just did a whole show with what you're doing, a bunch of iPhones on sticks, and make it happen.
Absolutely.
And fortunately, the iPhone quality is high enough, and so we're going to end up having, thanks to some of my besties in the whole wide world at Heinen Entertainment, which is a Denver company that produces tons of TV shows. We're going to have the best orientation video of all time at D-Bar because they got some time to help us shoot it.
But before this, you were doing a lot of online stuff. You were doing some cooking classes. You were doing some things that I thought was really innovative and cool. Is that back burner stuff, or are you going to kick it into high gear now?
I think I know I think I understand confidence versus ego on most all of my life except the celebrity piece. I find it odd that someone would rather watch me say or do something than someone else. And even at my own restaurant,
that's the kid in you that you never wanted to have a birthday party because you didn't know who'd show up.
Oh God, that no one would show up. I knew who would show up. No one. Wasn't like which one of my three friends. No one will show up. I feel that way at the restaurant. But still, I'm like, oh God, are we going to expand our hours? No one will come. So shorting my hours was a relief for me. Squeeze them all into 8 hours.
And just that's fun. That's interesting because you're an engaging guy, and you are, obviously you've come this far in your media career.
I don't know if who I am on TV is. It's probably who I am deep down inside. I want to be fair, and I want to give people a chance, and I want to encourage people. The last sentence of our mission statement at D-Bar is we aspire to inspire. Like I want a dining experience to be inspirational, and I'm trying to wrap my head around how we're going to do that when they allow us to again.
Gotcha.
And because life is difficult, man.
Sure it is.
Life is difficult, and some people just need a moment. They just a reprieve, take a breath. Don't be judged. Just can you give me the freedom to enjoy? That's what I hope my restaurant can provide moving forward.
It's always popping off. That's the barometer for me. D-Bar. Every time I go, I'm like, look it around. Look, and I think of, I'm looking around for like, what can I? And no, it's just really on from your staff to the goods to the drinks, the bar program. Everything just has that vibration.
Well, thank you. That
vibration.
That's a tribute to our team. That is Charles Coleman's our GM there. We have. It took me a long time. I feel like, we talked about all these smart people like Juan and Adam. And all of them, I'm sure, knew a long time ago that they couldn't be as good as a team full of people that were better at the things they're not, right? It took me a long time, to the first 3 years. Even my wife had to come to me and say, we have a 2-hour wait. Are you really just going to be behind the dessert bar the whole night? Like, what if you went out and talked to a few people? And I was like, we'll go down, So she
Nobody can powder sugar like me.
Right, exactly. No one can tilt, blowtorch, and so away from the intensity. She said to me, "What if we could find let's just say you cook at a 9 out of 10. What if we could find somebody you could train to cook at an 8 out of 10? That would allow you to be with the guests, and then we're back to 10 out of 10, even better than when you were cooking." And that made sense to me, right? So certainly, it's not like I'm not used to. I struggled 12 years ago with even an autograph. Like I still have it. I wish I had my bag with me. I have this bag. I have this thing that I have to be ready. I have to be able to go anywhere in the world right now in my bag. Like,
you have a bug out bag?
No, it's a Timbuktu bag.
It's a bug out bag.
But it
What's
has
in it?
some euros, my passport, earphones, the thing to fix my glasses.
Does Bailey know about this bag?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Does she have one too?
No.
No.
She's more organized than me. So, but if I had to go, I can go. I have to have that, and so how did we get on that topic? I don't know what we were talking about.
It's all good.
No, I was going to say something.
He's so much
You're
cooler.
talking about the kitchen and having other smarter people around.
Oh, like building a team.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got off on the bag thing, but the team is the most important thing. Like they are better than what we can be on our own.
Sure.
And I didn't know that. Being a control freak and being a perfectionist, this is not useful. There's no perfect. I still like to strive for it. I still hope for it. I think there's perfect about like certain things.
Yeah.
Like, is it level or is it not? There is a perfect. There's
Yes.
actually level. Right? But in the restaurant industry, man, we used to talk about my team want to be the best. Want to be the best restaurant, man. The best restaurant. I was like, what is best? Best what? Best? Because look at the categories. Like 5280 Westward, they don't even all match up.
Right.
Look at these weird categories I've never heard of. So I put it before the team. Hey, what do you guys? What do you think is the best thing to try to be? And it took us a while. It took us a handful of meetings at we do quarterly all staff. Took 3/4 of a year. Finally, we landed on we want to be Denver's favorite restaurant. Like, that means something.
Now that seems to be a
Right?
goal that you should want.
It's like trying to say, what's the best movie ever made? It's like there's so
Oh
many
my gosh.
different everything that it's you
Right?
you
How
can't.
can you do that?
Right, you can't do. So I think picking something like, we just want to be favorite, a big percentage of the population's
or best
favorite.
chicken in town, or it could go down the list.
Like,
but
maybe
to
you
narrow
eat
it
pizza
down.
5 times a week, but oh my God, I love to go to D-Bar 4 or whatever. So I like that idea. Let's try to be favorite, and then extend that to. Could we possibly be one of the favorite places for people to work in the restaurant industry? And that puts more impetus on us to do everything right. But
You still passionate about the business?
listen, who if you were, yes is the answer. And if you weren't, sure, if you were, and you come out of this pandemic still not sure, you're not passionate. Get out. But if you missed it, like you missed breathing when you were closed and couldn't serve people, then find a way to make it happen, man. That's what I say.
Thank you for your time. I always have an ask, right? This time it's not an ask for me. Summer dinner series, by the way, you've killed it in the past, and being in here. And
I'm worried about that. Are y'all going to
commanding
pull that
this
off?
kitchen. No, probably not.
I don't
We're not
think-
even thinking about that right
I
now.
don't. I told
we
my
are
team
doing-
no outside anything. We got to focus on us. But
You mentioned the Colorado Restaurant Association and the Colorado
Oh, my
Restaurant
gosh.
Foundation. They have something called the Angel Relief Fund.
yeah.
Next Friday, it's the 8th. We're going to go and just, it's a simple thing. If we could peek in and have you cook us something for 15 minutes, it's called COVID 2020. Brother Luck's going to be in kitchen with me here.
Cool.
Hazel Miller's going to be in here playing.
Is she really?
Yeah, she's gonna play
that's so awesome.
in here, and we're going to jump. John Elway's going to make a quick appearance.
What?
It's coming together nicely, but we'd love to be able to turn to you for 15 minutes and have.
We have to go find a celebrity to be
put
in there with us.
Stop it.
Who?
Would
No,
you-
seriously.
Could you do it?
There's some.
Would you?
There's some celebrities.
Would you look around?
To get a celebrity in there with me?
Well, I mean, you are the celebrity.
How
about just you and Bailey?
Well, sure, of course. If it's
Those
for that,
two, that's fine.
if
Yeah.
it's for that, 100% we'll do it. Yeah.
Count on you.
Friday.
They're listening.
What time? We
Got
close
Sonia
today.
Riggs listening. Mary Monica.
Sonia Riggs. God bless her.
Next Friday.
I was originally
between 2 and 5 p.m.
Oh yeah.
You pick the time.
You pick the time. I'm not that organized.
Okay.
2 to 5.
Thank you.
I'll be
It
ready.
means a lot to all of us.
Sonia, I was originally tired of her name in my email, and now I'm so grateful.
Yeah. You're seeing who's really shining
Gosh,
right now.
that coronavirus resources page they have on CRA.
Tons of information.
What?
Daily.
Yeah.
We've been having her on as much as we can.
And I think Kate Lacroix, in case we didn't say it, I know we talked about the other fellas, but is an angel from heaven.
Katie Laser?
Oh, did I say Lacroix? Why did I say that? Katie Laser. I think that's a PR lady. Katie Laser. And she's also like the only person I know that can smile while she's talking. You can even hear it. Like if you're on the, I'd love to hear her on the radio. I bet you she still sounds
We
like
had
she's
her on
smiling.
a couple weeks back, and I mean, just as hard as she works, and
my gosh,
she's not alone, but she's alone. She's multitasking.
I don't
Let's
know
just
how
say
she
that.
filters it
I
all.
don't either.
And she's so gracious, like always.
Yeah, absolutely.
I dream to have that kind of grace.
Am I missing anything for today? And thank you for catching up.
Hey,
with us.
thanks
It
for having
means
me
the
on for
world
so
to
long.
us.
I still want to. I hope y'all will. I don't have any pull like y'all. Like next Wednesday, the nurses thing, the nurses' day. It's a big deal.
We would love to anything
Wednesday.
that you put together. But like I said, I'm on D-Bar's mailing list. How can people get? I think you probably just go to your website. It's
Is it weird that
D-Bar
that I
Denver.
get texts from my lawyer when I'm on your show?
No, you do not. What does he tell you?
I'm just
To stop?
What I'd like to do is have people buy a thing, and then like buy one for a nurse, and we'll deliver it. That's what I'd like to do. Right now, we just don't have the capital to foot that bill.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do the legwork if the people will spend the money to support their heroes. And we have such a great relationship with Children's Hospital and Brent's Place because of the cakes we do for Brent's Place. And so likewise, all the hospitals around us.
Who's heading this up on your team?
I mean, just me and Bailey.
You and Bailey?
We just literally were talking about it today, and what are we going to do?
Yeah,
and while I was on this thing with you, I was like, hey, what if we do
Is
that?
it this Wednesday?
It's this coming Wednesday.
A week from today.
So if you listen, you'll hear KBCO talk about it. They're going to tell hero stories, and they're partnering with Safeway, who's going to buy the nurses a week's worth of groceries. Safeway's doing ads on it.
So what comes to mind, first of all, Jason McGovern at Crush Pizza and Tap, he's doing a buy a pizza, give a pizza.
Oh, cool.
And it's working out well.
Is it really?
And I want to get the structure, but if you wouldn't mind, spend 5 minutes with Jason on the phone to talk about that, and then when you have that in order, we'll push it.
Oh, that'd be so great.
We'll push it.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Keegan Gerhard,
Hey,
thank
you
you
kids,
so much.
eat the food on the radio, would you? When does this go, till 8?
No, it does not go till 8.
Okay.
But by the way, thanks for Monday through Friday. We're broadcasting every single day, Monday through Friday,
That's
and
cool.
then 6 to 8 p.m. on Saturdays as well. So we're
Oh,
going
nice.
6 days a week.
Yeah, it was a call us when we were right in the middle of the weeds, and then
That's what we always
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
We've heard that feedback more than once. Thank you so much.
you guys know what time it is?
Chef Gerhard.
Thank you guys for keeping at it. Yeah.
Oh, my
Good.
goodness.
Very
Thank
important.
you. I appreciate
Thanks,
you
Chef.
so much. Boy, I'm telling you, right?
Yeah, this guy.
So as we continue, guys, thank you for joining us. The Modern Eater Show continues. I will do it live. It's A-Plus Beverage Solution and Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Get your tap lines clean. Got to get ready. You want to pour that delicious craft beer again.
Yes, you do.
And in order to do that, you want to make sure that the yick is out of your lines.
The ick and yick and yak, any of that stuff.
The icky, yicky, yak. Boy, that was cool having Keegan in here.
Man, he's a cool dude. He scares me. God, he just
Why?
him and Juan
So
Padre. I
nice.
don't know, man. Those type of guy, and there's not a lot of them, but he scares me, man.
Do I scare you?
Yeah, but in a just totally different way.
In a creepy, weird, terrifying way. 720-272-3809. Jeff Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Family owned and operated. Again, $10 per line. $10 per line. How's technology treating you today, Jay?
It's all right. I know you see me messing with some stuff here. I got it coming. I just had to see who's next.
He will add a line for you, too. Beer, wine, water, coffee, nitro, kombucha, whatever you want there. But Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Give him a call, 720-272-3809. It's an offer. It's a gimme, pretty much. $10 per line. And
You can't go wrong.
take him up on that.
Yeah.
Okay, switching gears right now, and thank you for joining us. And I really appreciate this gentleman's time. It's Chris Franklin joining us right now, and I believe he's at Levers. His phone's sideways.
I know. Can you hear us, Chris? He's on a.
Chris is getting ready for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get this little video. So I took a video. I was at Levers this past Sunday, and as we're standing by for Chris is sideways. His phone's sideways.
Yeah, let me text him.
Hey, buddy. Put my screen up here because I want to play this video, and this is Levers Locavore, my visit this past Sunday. Here we go. It's a Sunday. Look at this. Never sleeping. Levers Locavore. I'm going to go support local.
Right on, come on in.
Right now.
Got some stuff smoking right now.
I can hear Chris in the background. Okay, Mom, I said I'd get you one. Here it is. And, Mom, I do have your hat. I promise you. Coming at you. Support local.
You wanted this.
There he is. Adorable pop-up shop. And some ice cream, too. So
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, buddy.
Get on. Right now, Chris Franklin joins us. I'm playing the video that I made there this past Sunday. It's in the background. We're looking at the pop-up shop. Go right back to a small business.
Right on.
Levers Locavore. Only $15 for the hat. Thank you. Is it Sarah? Thanks, Sarah. Showing me pay the $20 to get the hat. Get your hats and T-shirts and support local. Cash only. And such an adorable pop-up shop. What you're looking at, and now we're into River Bear American Meats. I'm showing the deli count. Okay, man. I was just at National Grocers, and it sucked. I'll tell you what. Let's go. There was no burger. There
Chris
was nothing.
Right now. Chris Franklin, thanks for joining us right here. You're a Levers Locavore. That's the cutout of Brunson right there, isn't it? Please tell me that's not him.
That is not him, but I know every time he's on, everyone gets all excited. So I decided to cheat today and bring the cutout.
Oh, that's fantastic. Look at that. I mean, that is... It's just too real. It's too real looking. We need one of you too, man.
Oh, I don't know about that. Nobody wants to see that. So
okay, so first of all, we gave away a card to someone who came and subscribed to our YouTube channel, so we can keep them up to date on local. And our winner yesterday, who watched the show, was Sarah English. So Sarah English got herself a $50 gift card. These are 50s, right?
Yeah, those were 25 each, but I'll make it right.
No, that's fine.
We'll make it 50. Okay.
I'll give her two. But
there you go.
I think I gave away two of them too. I was going to give one away today. So,
I'll get you a couple more. I'll get you two more. We'll make it happen.
Okay, so we'll say this time $25. Go to our YouTube channel, The Modern Eater, and subscribe to it, and then just comment inside of the video. And randomly, in 24 hours, we will pick somebody and get you a $25 gift card, courtesy of Levers Locavore. Thank you very much, Chris.
Happy to do it.
Cool.
Happy to support you.
So on Sunday, I popped in, and you know, a lot of the times that you do something, and let's face it, I live in Cherry Creek, and Levers isn't just next door to me. So I do have a local grocery store. Went into my local grocery store, and I think it was just the tipping point for me to where the experience wasn't there, the products that I love weren't there. It was just not, and so I said, you know what, I'm going to drive across town, and it was the best decision that I made in a long, I was going to say all day, but probably all month, all year so far. And here's why. First of all, I've been just ducking in and out of grocery stores because it terrifies me. It's not fun. It's not a good shopping experience. I went into Levers and things were cleanly. Things were in place. The shelves were stocked. The staff was friendly and knowledgeable. It seemed very sanitized to me. Folks were doing their due diligence wearing masks. The checkout experience is the minute someone jumps off of the line for the next person to come in, you have somebody that's swooping in and cleaning everything off. Everything was on point, no stone unturned. Great job to you and your crew.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We've been trying really hard. When everything first broke, you know, we got together with the team and our company's leadership, and we thought, hey, how do we approach this? We're that small independent store, so we can make decisions that the chains can't. We can move quickly. We can put people over profits, and we really tried to do that from the beginning. I mean, I think you got here right as we were getting ready to close for the day. We closed between 2 and 3 each day for extra cleaning. That's not the only cleaning we do, but that's our chance to really touch every surface, clean everything, make sure that we're ready to go. Our team's rested up, and then we can continue on through the day. So it's been a very important thing for us.
Man, and it's kind of like one of those things. It's like congratulating someone for not being in jail. You feel weird about it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to be in jail, and that to you is just normal business operations, right?
Yeah, that's it. I think that in a lot of the grocery stores, when everything hit, it was just trying to stay alive and stay afloat and do whatever you can. Because we've been running things differently from the beginning. It was definitely a pivot. We're an experience based grocery store with the restaurants and the bar, and so we did have to make adjustments, but they were pretty minor. They were just adjusting to the current situation instead of having to change our whole business.
Buying local, supporting local as much as you possibly can. That's kind of the ethos of Lever's Locavore. When I was in there, I was very impressed by the River Bear Deli and Butcher Shop. Justin's doing a great job there as well. Anything you would need, there wasn't anything that they were out of. And
Yeah.
one thing that I do feel terrible about is I didn't highlight Zach Johnston's go back time machine spice thing. Are you near that right now? Can you show that to people?
It's actually across the store. I can walk over there if you want. We can take a look.
Let's take a look.
Do you want to do that?
I
We'll
would
go
love
mobile
that.
here.
Yeah.
Let's get around Justin. So we'll take a little walk over there. Yeah, I think you talked about buying local, and obviously Zach's been on quite a bit. Um, I think he's a great example of that. Somebody who didn't want to be in a traditional grocery store. And when he came in and met us and saw our concept and realized it was a good fit. There's somebody else today that we're going to be bringing a product in. They're not in any other grocery stores. They don't want to be kind of in that environment. He wanted to come walk the store. He did, and we'll be carrying his products pretty soon, which we're excited about.
Oh, you can't give us a little hint or anything?
Well, soon. We got a couple details to work out. But here's the star of the show right now. I'm going to turn around and show you the time machine here. This thing's pretty cool.
Okay. Boom, there it is. Look at that, Zach Johnston.
What am I looking at?
That's Zach Johnston's spice machine.
It's a vending machine.
I know, isn't that cool?
Oh, my gosh, man. That's like futuristic stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And there's a kind of an interactive little tablet that he's got here. You can get some recipes. Unfortunately, of course, timing, that's down right now, but we're going to get it back up soon. And, it's neat. He's got the spice machine here, and then you got River Bear over in the corner, kind of the butcher shop back there.
Look at that. Oh, here, Jay, let me tell you something. I had one unpleasant experience.
At Lever's?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was actually pretty upsetting.
Okay. I know you got.
It was pretty upsetting.
Yeah.
They had too much selection of ice cream.
Oh,
my God. It was so vast. And all the goodies, all the killer stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, local ice creams, non-dairy. Are you walking over to that ice cream?
Yeah, it's
Show it.
yeah. We've got local, we've got High Point, we got CBD ice cream with over here. We'll take a little look at some of the options. Petey Bird, always love Petey Bird. Rosebud, if you want your CBD fix right there. So we got a lot of different options.
So good, so good.
Hey, I want to show you one thing too. You mentioned River Bear. I'm going to show you something that doesn't look perfect, but I'm pretty excited about something they're doing. So look at that. You saw it when we had dry aged steaks in there. Look at it right now. It looks sad, right? But
Fish is coming.
Fish, yeah. A whole new fish program over here too. So we're pretty excited about that.
That is terribly exciting. I'm glad because my body hasn't seen a vegetable or fish in a long time, and I really need. And not because it's not available, because at Lever's Locavore you have a robust produce section and everything that you would possibly want. It's just because comfort food has been comforting for so many of us right now. Has sales?
Yeah, we've got. Sales of produce have been great. Good. It's here. We'll take a little look around there at produce.
Look at that.
And so our goal was never to be that sort of huge supermarket with 50,000 square feet, and it was to be have a specially curated section of local when we can. Obviously, when it comes to produce, people like to say, "Hey, your bananas aren't local," and that's true. But we've got some really neat partnerships going on. We've mentioned it before. Altius, Mile High Microgreens, Hazel Dell Mushrooms, and then, of course, throughout the summer, we're actually looking at teaming up with the farmer to do sort of a hybrid CSA program where he'll put together sort of a box of whatever he actually contacted me because he's like, I just lost all my restaurant clients. I'm nervous. And I was like, hey, why don't you put together whatever seasonal will start in July? Every week you ship me out whatever looks great then, whether it's squash or, any fruit, anything you have. And then we'll just turn around, we'll buy it off you and we'll sell it. So it's that kind of hybrid CSA thing. And he got pretty excited about it. So
That's fantastic. Before we go, we have to see the pop-up shop.
All right, let's take a look.
The girls have put so much work into that. When I say the ladies, it's Rebecca Berry and Jen from Levers. But look at this pop-up shop right here, Jay. It is so cool. It's well done. So many local brands, T-shirts, hats, some stuff signed. There's bruised beers. And they put so much effort into this. And so think about it. You grab something off of these local tables. I got the fancy hats out. I might have gotten the last one.
Fancy hats. Yeah, I think you cleared us out on that one. So
fancy hats out. I got one for my mom. Bistro Colorado right there. So you want to support local. You're looking for ideas and ways to support local. Not only can you give them a few bucks, it's a cash transaction. 100% of the proceeds go right back to the local business. And at the same time, what's better than wearing their colors, man? Colors.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a great excuse because everybody loves swag, right? Everybody, but every now and again when you're like, I don't know, $20 for a hat, I don't need a hat. I really don't. This is the greatest excuse in the world to get that swag because you're supporting local, you're doing a lot, and you get the hat.
Couldn't agree
you get
more.
the sweater.
Chris, what do you want to?
Well, I was going to say, let's not forget the growler here from Lowdown. So you come out, you buy it now. They got a coupon in there. You can get it filled down when they're back open. And I'm off the next couple of days, so I'm hanging with the growler right now.
I don't blame you.
That's my future. Yeah.
The weather's beautiful. Levers is in full effect. Levers Locavore. What's the address?
2630 West 38. So we're between Pecos and Federal.
I got to learn that. So what's the actual cross street off of?
38th and Bryant.
38th and Bryant.
Yep.
Got it. Anything else you want to leave us with? I'm in love with you guys.
Well, cool. We appreciate that, and thanks for coming down. I know that Justin got a chance to talk a lot about what's going on in the meat world right now, and I just want to show you one of our murals on the way out. It's an old WPA poster from the 30s that we copied, but it sure seems applicable right now. So I'm just going to turn it around, let you see that, and I think it's some good messages for us all right now. Hopefully, you can see it there.
Buy it with thought, cook it with care. Serve just enough, save what will keep, eat what would spoil. Homegrown is best. Don't waste it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on.
I love it.
That's your next tattoo right there, Chris.
All right across the back. We'll show that next time.
As big as humanly possible.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Chris. The hoodies are awesome. You're the man.
Thanks, brother.
Right on. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
There he is. Chris
Say
Franklin.
bye to Justin.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
Bye, Justin.
Bye.
See you, dude. Chris Franklin, Levers Locavore. Jonathan Shikes, patient, standing by, Westward, Colorado beer man. And Jonathan's going to join us here momentarily. I think he's in our waiting room, isn't he? I like the idea of a waiting room.
Yeah, he should be popping in any second now.
We're looking for Chris there. It's kind of cool to this new setup. I can see. Oh, but here's the thing. You've been telling people how they can see my face.
Well,
hey, Jonathan Shikes, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
Cool, man. What do you see on your screen?
I am seeing Jay up in the left, and I'm seeing you below.
Okay, cool. You got us all. Nice. I'm going to play this piece. It's a Fox 31 piece. I think you'll be able to hear it. It's Kevin Torres reporting, and it was kind of, I was going to say sobering survey, and that's exactly what they have it titled. We'll listen to this real quick, and then we're going to come back with Colorado beer man Jonathan Shikes.
Aristea, good evening. You know, that same survey showing that 15% of craft breweries nationwide, including here in Colorado, could fold by the end of the month. Keep in mind, craft breweries are a place to socialize, not a place where there's social distancing.
We are in a very empty Ratio Beer Works.
In the heart of Rhino.
It's so bizarre on many levels.
Is a broken business hoping to heal.
We were almost exclusively to restaurants and bars in this tap room. And that was 99% of our business, and that almost got shut down besides some of the to-go orders.
Jason Zumbaranen is the co-founder and brewmaster at Ratio Beer Works, one of the most popular craft breweries on Larimer Street.
I mean, it's been surreal for this whole time.
Ratio is part of a network of 420 total breweries in Colorado. According to a survey conducted by the Brewers Association, projections show more than half in the state could close by summer, a sobering statistic for an industry that pumps $3 billion a year into our local economy.
We had up to 30, 35 folks, and we're down to only about a core of 4 with a couple, 2 or 3 helpers here.
From the moment the pandemic made its way into Denver, Ratio has been pivoting and evolving to stay alive. Shifting to canning is the main focus now.
We have some engineering units that weren't being utilized that we've now taken to some friendly breweries. Odd 13 has been awesome about doing this.
Wild Goose Filling in Louisville is working with them and several other breweries to help with the canning conundrum.
And we're making our plans basically on we're not reopening. I mean, all hopes is, they'll slowly ease the restrictions, but our plans are, could we do this and not reopen for a long time?
Jason says that even once they are able to reopen, if that is possible, he sees this being a long struggle and a long road ahead. Reporting live at 5:30, I'm Kevin Torres, Fox 31.
Were you able to hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This pandemic isn't treating craft breweries very nicely right now, is it?
No, it's not treating anybody nicely. But I think breweries, restaurants, bars are all having a pretty rough time of it.
Yeah. I see a lot of good innovation and pivot points for restaurants because they're more dimensional. They're not just one dimensional like beer, right? And with food service and restaurants crashing down being kind of the number one, aside from their tap rooms as well, but being their number one distribution into restaurants, with that chain being gone, craft breweries are really exposed right now. Their pants are down without distribution into liquor stores.
Yeah, they are. The key for them is being able to come up with ways to package their beer and get it out the door. And they're having to come up with a variety of ways to do that. But that's the only way that they're really going to survive, unless they shut down completely and can somehow continue to pay their rent and other the other things that they have to pay for several months. But the only revenue source that they have is being able to put that beer in some sort of container and have people show up or be able to deliver it.
Let's unpack those numbers. Jonathan Shikes here with us. Thanks for your time, first of all. Let's unpack those numbers of 60% of craft breweries closing out of that 420 number by summertime. Do you have an idea how they got to those numbers?
The numbers that they have come from the Brewers Association, the national trade group for craft breweries that's based in Boulder. They did a big survey earlier in April, and that's what came back. They did different time periods. They asked the breweries, their membership, how long they could last, and a certain percentage said that they were not going to make it more than a month or 6 weeks, and another percentage said 3 months would be the killer. And I believe that was the 60%. That was the 60% mark. They said 3 months. And they'll be out of business.
Let's harken back about 24 months to where there was kind of a joke amongst us all of craft breweries just multiplying. We would say, what just happened right now? Oh, craft brewery just opened up. They were opening up in droves, and that growth rate may be quick. I don't know. Were we seeing an evening or a quickening before COVID hit?
We were starting to see maybe the beginnings of it, but I thought we were seeing the beginnings of it each year for the last 2 or 3 years, and then they just kept opening, and the ones that are in business for the most part have stayed open. And in fact, no breweries have closed in Colorado that I know of, permanently at least, since the coronavirus lockdown started. But this may hasten something that was probably on the way, which was that a number of breweries were going to close, either because their rents were going up after a 5-year lease was over, or because there's just too much competition at this point. So there are a number of breweries that live paycheck to paycheck, kind of like people. And I think this is the kind of thing that makes them say, you know what, we were going to close maybe at the end of this year anyway. If we might as well just do it now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Man, heartbreaking because we love so many of these folks are our friends, right?
Right. Yep.
And you've got your ear to the ground. You always have your ear to the ground. I'll listen to you before a survey. Are you hearing what are the rumblings right now?
The rumblings are that there are breweries that will close, and that it could be a significant number. I think a lot of them are just trying to see if they can negotiate a way to not pay rent for a few months. If they can figure out a way to just keep the business, like freeze it for a little while, or do as close as they can to freezing their businesses, so that they possibly can reopen at some point in the future. But the thing that really has surprised me is that not a single one has said, "That's it, we're done." There are some that have said we're going to close for the duration of this pandemic, and then we will reopen. But nobody said that's it, we're done. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you on the other side.
Okay, tomorrow we'll be broadcasting from Molly Spirits in the Greenwood Village location, and Bob Pease is going to come on by Zoom as well. What are some things? And I don't know. Do you talk to Bob often? Type of thing.
I don't typically talk to Bob, but I talk to other folks at the Brewers Association quite a bit.
Help me out with tomorrow's interview.
Well,
what would be some things that I know where I'd go with it, but I'd like to get your brain involved.
I mean, one of the things, the Brewers Association just laid off nearly a quarter of its own staff, which is really sad, and that's in part because they're a not-for-profit and they rely on money that they get from their events and the things that they do. So they still have a big staff, but I'm not sure where their budget is and how they're going to be able to keep going. They rely on these events and they rely on dues. If the number of breweries that they are predicting close actually do close, that's also 60% less revenue from in terms of
dues.
In terms of dues, so that's going to be difficult for them. I'm sure they've got some sort of model, trying to, like every business or like every organization, trying to predict, a worst case scenario, a best case scenario, and maybe a middle scenario. And that comes for the Great American Beer Festival. It has to do with their membership, the number of breweries that close, and they probably don't know, just like the rest of us. The headlines seem to change sometimes completely every day, and trying to get a gauge on it is difficult. But is GABF going to happen? If not, what's going to happen in its stead? And who is this going to affect most? The little guys, the middle guys, the big guys?
Mm-hmm. Do you think, and again, speculation, a lot of speculation going on right now, do you think that there will be some predator big beer companies looking for viable craft breweries that, as a fire sale?
I think there will be some of that, but for the most part, it's not going to make a lot of sense. There's these breweries, the ones that go out of business will just be gone, so that'll be one less competitor. They don't need to buy them. They won't have to, face them as competitors. So they don't really, the big guys don't really need to buy any. It could be that they do.
Well, the infrastructure, the equipment, the brand, the neighborhood feel.
They've been working on that for a while. But Coors, for instance, has its own. They have Blue Moon, which is its own place. They have that kind of neighborhood vibe. I could see them, maybe reaching out to some breweries and trying to get that, because that was the model that was really taking over was the taproom model as opposed to package sales.
It was recommended. The Brewers Association came out and said that 80% of your sales should come from your taproom, 20% in outside distribution.
Yep.
That was the model for survival. Now it's the model for death.
And it's the model for short-term death. Hopefully long-term survival. So there will be some consolidation, whether it involves the big guys or some of the smaller folks. Denver Beer Company has 2 locations plus a third giant brewery. They are opening another tap room, or they're supposed to, down in South Denver. A place like that, a Denver Beer Company could buy a small brewery or two that already has, in different neighborhoods, that already has that infrastructure. So I could see some consolidation on that level, more than I would see a lot of consolidation with the big guys.
Oh, I mean, all the way around, it just doesn't look like good news. My only hopes are here's a hope that I have, and I'll just run this past you. My hopes are that when these surveys come out in a time of where your business is just uncertain, the only thing that's certain is uncertainty, is to where you want to paint the darkest picture possible for funding in any capacity. I'm hoping that picture through these surveys that business owners put the bleakest prospect going forward for their business. Instead of honestly that's really the way that it is right now. I'm hoping that the numbers are skewed.
I think they are. I think the survey was done before the PPP loan was in place. And I know a lot of people missed out on that, but I know they're bringing some more of those back. The survey was done before there was a lot of pressure on landlords to reduce rent or to skip rent. So hopefully that was the worst case scenario, and the reality will be a lot better.
Jay Parker.
Hey, Jonathan, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. I just question/comment here. Do you think, because I can kind of see, so a lot of the breweries that do shut down, and numbers of percentage of how many actually do close the doors for good, nobody will know until it actually happens, right? But don't you think that there's going to be a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of business folks that make some lemonade out of those
Skip
lemons
rent,
to where they get to
hopefully that.
Where they get to, sorry,
not distracting, is it?
I know, right?
Get some of that.
That's how you
point taken. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly right. That a lot of these folks that wouldn't be able to get into a location that want to start a brewery are going to be able to have some of the crumbs that fell off the table that go, you know what? Otherwise, without this pandemic and without these certain breweries closing down, I wouldn't have had this opportunity. So don't you think the ones that do close down, there's a pretty good chance that they would get filled up, by new tenants?
I think there's some chance of that, but you have to. I mean, it's already a risk, to opening a brewery right now anyway, because there is so much competition, and so I think coming in at a time when we don't know, is there going to be a second coronavirus peak? Is it going to be back next year? When is there going to be a vaccine? So to come in at a time when the future of on-premise breweries and restaurants is really uncertain, I think would be a
ballsy move.
Yeah, but there's still breweries that are in planning, and construction is one of the things that has not slowed down, and so there are a dozen or more breweries that are under construction right now in Colorado, maybe even in the Denver area, that are still planning to open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. But I think it's fair to say that if you're a brewery and you do make it through, there's going to be some extra parts to your equipment that you'll be able to find.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think that there's going to be, and I don't know where my crumb off the dinner table came from, but I think there'll be a lot of crumbs, especially in regards to equipment. Absolutely, that you're going to get a pretty good deal that you wouldn't have got, without this thing.
It's terribly unsettling when I saw that 60%. No, I mean, it's like, couldn't he just said half? Or I mean, I don't know. That would have made me feel better. But the majority of our favorite breweries. Now, let's talk about the success from a lot of breweries' standpoints. It has to do with how well did your neighborhood embrace you. A lot of these breweries are focal points of neighborhoods here in Denver Metro and beyond. I'd like to think that the neighborhoods would rally for their brewery.
I think most of them have. There are breweries that are getting enough business with takeout or to go or delivery that they have they can survive in kind of indefinitely under the current status. They may have let go of a significant portion of their employees, but they can make a go of it, and that's because they've got enough people around them who love them most of those people, I'm guessing, are coming from pretty close because no one's really supposed to be out, covering large distances. And although there are some that are. A lot of these, when you're at Molly's, they're probably carrying breweries that they've never had in there before because those breweries have never distributed before. So there's breweries like Bierstadt Lagerhaus and Woods Boss and Cannonball Creek that all have cans out in the stores now. So they're getting their stuff out that way so that they don't have to entirely rely on on their neighborhoods. But the ones with that neighborhood backing are the ones probably doing the best.
Yeah, maybe we need to actually put that rally cry out to local neighborhood liquor stores to say, bring in as much variety as you can from that standpoint. Generally when we sit around and shoot the breeze, we talk about stylings and beer notes and tastings and the next festival that would be coming up. Not much of that right now, but your sense of when things start to open back up, will brewing styles, do you believe, change or narrow down into a smaller group of stylings of beers, or do you think it'll still be experimental just as it always has been?
I think there will continue to be an edge that is experimental. There will always be the breweries that are doing okay. They'll continue to experiment, but there will definitely be a consolidation in terms of the number of beers that are out there, and people are going to need to go right for what sells, and they already don't make any bones about it. I mean, breweries, putting out seltzers by the dozen, and because that's what sells. It's not what's in their heart, but it's what sells, and I think that will just intensify as we go forward. One of the things people have been joking about is it takes a lot longer to make a lager than an ale. And so everybody's making lagers right now because it's, they have the time and they don't need all the beer. So there'll be a lot of lagers.
And barrel aged.
Yeah, and barrel aged beers. Yeah, come late summer.
For sure. What's your best guess on the Great American Beer Festival?
My guess is no, that it will not happen. They may come up with some way to do something. I don't know what that would be because I don't know what works for them from a monetary standpoint. I can't imagine what they could do to replace that. There's just nothing. They can do an online thing. They could do a social distance series of beer pairings, but none of that is going to replace what they have. So there will be something, but it won't be the festival.
Well, here's what it should be. So let's put together the Colorado Beer Man virtual beer festival, and we'll get somebody like Molly's, and we'll get 15 breweries, 20 breweries. We'll start small to begin with. It'll be our first one. Start small, 20 breweries. Have those beers ready for samplings at Molly's, all ready to go. Then you go in, get your kit, and then have an online date, and then folks sit around a big old Zoom meeting with all those different ones and have the breweries actually talk about the beers and the beer notes while you go through that and make an afternoon of it. I sure would join. You ready to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there'll probably be some creative things along those lines. People can sneak out. There's not going to be a lot of beer poured because, glasses touching cans, touching bottles, hands touching all those things. But in terms of there will be things. People are going to get out and about, and they're not going to be able to help it. They'll be covered in I don't know whether you lift your mask up and take a sip and put it back down or how it's going to work, but there will be something.
There was a thing on social media the other day of somebody, like the flushable wipes that are real popular. They turn that into a mask so that the top of it opens up, so you can open it, drink your beer, and then close it.
Interesting. Yeah, people are getting creative. So, what do you look for to write about right now? Just anything, or are there certain things that you're looking for?
It's actually weird. It's trying to figure out what to write about because you don't just want to be like, this sucks, and this sucks. You want to try and find, other interesting stories, how breweries are trying to change, what maybe is being done to help all those employees who don't have shifts, who don't have jobs now, how some breweries are what it is that they can do to stay alive. So you try and make some of it like you assume everything sucks, and then you try and make think of something a little bit more positive.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
there are some breweries, some of the bigger ones, they're rolling out the beers that they had planned to roll out, and they have to change the way they market them now because they can't have any events around them, and they have to be careful about what they say. But those beers are still going to come out. They're still going to be in liquor stores, and people are still hoping to buy them. So I'm looking along those lines. I'm curious about the festivals and what's going to happen with that. I honestly can't see any festivals taking place
either
this year. I just don't. It's too much. There's too much interaction
and too much liability. Yeah, it's going to be too risky.
Yep.
I'm looking at this late, and thank you for keeping up on the beer calendar as it has pivoted. The latest edition came out today, and you've got the cover photo of King Black, Chris Black, pouring some beers right there from his native soil, Falling Rock. Falling Rock's boarded up right now, isn't it?
They put the boards up just to protect it, but they're selling beer on Thursdays through Sundays, I believe.
Cool.
And they've got barbecue and some other food going on. They have a guy who cooks barbecue for their anniversary every year, and they brought him in now the last 2 weekends in a row to do a barbecue takeout. And then and Chris is just trying to sell his the beer that he's got in kegs. He's loading it into growlers or crowlers or whatever he's doing and selling it. So they're trying to make a go of it. Yeah.
Hey, so what year? Looking like you got some good cheerleader photos behind you from the Denver Broncos. Is that the team or the cheerleader? That's the team. Maybe I'm the guy who has the cheerleader photo. You got the team. You got some good Bronco memorabilia behind you there.
Yeah. I got the posters on the top. I think are from like 74 and 77, and I've got like the Super Bowl poster, framed, and a couple autographed things, and then the magnet board from the original from 1977 with the original, not original, but 28 of the teams, I think. So
I'm loving seeing that stuff. Broncos fan like me, Shikes and I grew up in the same neighborhood, and kind of that Cherry Creek area, Congress. I was across 6th. I was on the wrong side of the track, Shikes. I'd have fought you on 6th Avenue if we had to. He was on the south side of 6th Avenue.
I'd have fought you on 6th Avenue.
And kind of grew up in the same neighborhood together. Dude, how's your book doing?
The book's out there. It's people are buying it online. I'm selling it directly now to folks who reach out to me and want to buy it. I'm shipping it off. Figured out how to do that in a cost-effective way. People have enjoyed it. They've been posting pictures of it. So it's not selling, I don't think, like it would have if I had been able to do some events. But I can't really complain very much, based on what other people are going through right now. So I'm enjoying just sending them off to people and hearing about people reading at home.
Is there an e-version?
There's you can get it for Kindle or for what was it, Nook. I think you can get it for both of those.
Gotcha.
But that's
get the real thing. Order direct. Order from Shikes. You probably sign it for people, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, I'll sign it. I'll sign it for people, and they can just tell me what they want. Yeah, anyone who reaches out to me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or wherever, they come find me, and I'll send them a book.
Come grab them. What else am I missing? Anything right now?
I keep going back to the fact that I'm surprised that nobody is shut down yet.
Yeah.
I keep waiting to see that.
And
today
it's not coming in the mailbox, huh? You're not getting anything.
What's that? Oh yeah, no. It's not coming in.
I'm glad.
What's the last beer you drank?
The last beer I drank. Well, I didn't drink yesterday because I was working on trying to not. My consumption has gone up quite a bit during.
5 o'clock gets earlier every day, doesn't it?
Imagine that.
I think I had a Woods Boss. I had it's called Vivette from Woods Boss, and it's a kind of a New England style IPA that's got some fruit in it. I'm spacing out on what the fruit is right now, but it's got a real red color to it. So
passion fruit.
it may be passion fruit. Is that what
And
it is?
and a congratulations to Jordan Fink, who had a new baby a couple weeks ago.
Did he really?
Yeah, so congratulations to him. He shaved off his super, Jordan Fink, the owner over there at Woods Boss. He's like the super woods man. Like,
Isn't he an arborist?
I think so, right? But he had one of those beards, kind of like Jonathan, where you can grow it in an afternoon,
Jonathan cleans up his neck, though.
And he shaved it off.
Jordan,
yeah, man, his is from head to toe. But it was funny because on Jordan's social media, because of the new baby, he clean shaved.
Oh, my God,
so
dude.
he could get cuddles with the baby. I thought that was really cute.
That is cute. And that's when it breaks your heart, because places like that, what a beautiful tap room.
Oh, gorgeous.
And a patio. And that's just like a day like today, who wouldn't be out there right now?
Yeah. I went in there last week or a week and a half ago because they're doing the to-go sales, and they've got it spaced out so you are 6 feet apart. But gorgeous tap room with all that wood and the trees, and I set my cans that I bought down, and I just wanted to crack one and sit in the chair. It was right there. I just for a second, but I didn't. But yeah,
so
it's
frustrating.
sad. Yeah, it's sad.
Offline you might have, but online you didn't. Jonathan, thank you as always. We'll catch up soon, and tune in tomorrow when Bob Pease is on.
Yeah, that sounds great.
See what you think of that. Okay, man, we'll catch up with you soon. Jonathan
right,
Shikes, buy his book. What's the name of your book?
It's Denver Beer, A History of Mile High Brewing.
It's a good one. Go get it. Thank you, Jonathan.
Absolutely.
See you soon. Colorado Beer Man, Jonathan Shikes. What a great show so far today. Although it's weird, I'm on the Facebook thing. It doesn't show that it's shareable on my thing.
Well, that's not. I mean, I shared it.
Really?
Yeah, so that makes me feel good about that part.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, I know.
And then usually there's a lot more interaction on there. Maybe I'm seeing something different or logged in under.
I don't know.
Something
Don't tell
else.
me that.
I don't
know.
Who's coming in now?
We've got Brian Freeman.
Oh, and we got the crew coming
and the
in.
Spice, and the Spice guy, Zach Johnston. We're getting the crew
crazy.
coming in.
This could get nutty.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Is Little Rich coming in on this too?
He's got the information. He's got the information. Let's see what we got.
Well, there's Be Free right there. There's Zach. We're coming to you from offices all over Denver right now.
That's right.
I like Zach. You got a good looking office.
Thanks, man.
Now, Brian,
good looking thing here.
Brian, your orifice is kind of interesting looking over there.
Hey, man, I've got living creatures over here. I've got some animals in the office. I've got the family. Remember, I just moved in this office less than 6 weeks ago, right in the middle of COVID, man. Cut me some slack.
Hey, at least you got an office. Just me and Jay staring at each other all day long. And then Zach Johnson, all leather behind Zach.
Fake, I promise.
Did you guys see the Keegan Gerhard interview today? Brian Freeman, Zach Johnson joins us.
I did, yeah. You got to quit. If I'm going to come on, you have to have less cool people on before me next time.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, man.
He is pretty cool. Looks like Little Rich is trying to get in.
Hey, you could put that bandana on your face there.
Watch, I guarantee you Little Rich is going to have a weird background.
He's got Rackalitas. Oh,
come on. Turn your phone sideways, Little Rich.
I did, yeah. You got to quit. If I'm going to come on, you have to have less
Oh, and turn your volume down on whatever's in the background.
Little Rich, you got some audio going on,
Turn
buddy.
the show down, Richie. Look at these.
Richie has a fake background on. Look at that.
Now, generally, we would end the show with, and he's golfing today. Larry Hers is golfing. He's not here with us today. He'll join us back tomorrow. And Dr. Sarah Metz. No Dr. Sarah Metz. So you guys are the doctor today.
I think the only person qualified to be a doctor is Jay.
I don't know what that means, but I'll take it.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Dr. J.
Doctor. We've got the Spice Guy on here with us. Zach, we need new copy. How should this read? Zach Johnson, the Spice Guy, says, Dear GH, are you listening to me, Zach?
Yeah, what up, GH?
Okay. The Spice Guy is still Colorado's favorite spice company. We need a new one of these because we're in a different phase now. So it says, hell, it might be America's favorite.
I gave you a new one. I texted you a new one.
You did?
I texted you the new one. You read it earlier.
No, I did not. Oh, yeah, that's when you said I couldn't read. I think that you need an even newer one, right?
Yeah. Am I doing my own live? Is that what this
Right
is?
now. Do a live.
Hey, yeah, we're still open over here. We've been open the whole time. I know a lot of people, restaurants in particular, have been going with a single stream vendor for the moment, just for ease of use, and everything's been confusing and effed up, for lack of a better word. But yeah, we're still here, ready to rock and roll. We've got all of your blends that you had in stock still, and whatever else you might need. We've got a full inventory. I was just reading my market report for the month. Inventory is going to tighten up here pretty good. So let's get on what we need to and make a plan. And if you're not using me, you've been making a mistake for as long as you've been open. We have great high quality spices, and we're generally pretty easy to work with. Not as easy as Richie, but we're easy.
When you want to talk about easy, Zach. So Chris Franklin was on from Levers, and I started to.
Did he tell you easy that I never have paid one rent payment for my machine?
No, he didn't do that, but he did tell me that it's broken.
No, it's not broke.
He says it's not operational right now. Maybe because he unplugged it.
Maybe.
But
he never sent me a bill. He said it's free, big dog. I'll have to go over there and check.
But point being is that spice machine is over there. He showed it to us on the stream today. That's a cool thing, man.
Thank you.
The Wayback Machine.
We're in the process of putting like 20 around the country with excellent timing.
Brian Freeman, how's the state of produce right now?
State of produce is good. I would say a lot of the farmers have product, but we are starting to see some issues because people were plowing stuff under at one point because there was a labor shortage. We are starting to see where they didn't necessarily replant the second planting. And so there are going to be some issues. I would also be concerned on the future of meat, obviously, because a lot of the packers, even though the president is going to try to step in and have the packers go back to work, I think that there's going to be a bigger issue with it. There's just not enough people that are not sick right now to get into the packing plants. Mm-hmm. And so I think that there's going to be, I think things on the meat side are going to tighten up a little bit in the coming months. Mm-hmm. And some big retailers have recently reached out to me, the produce guy, looking for canned and dried foods. Mm-hmm. And, the concern there is when those big retailers are going out of their channels to ask, a produce guy, where can I source some of these other items? It's like the fact that China's not going to admit that they invented COVID, because why would they? They don't want to look bad and get sued by the rest of the world. Why would anyone tell you that they're going to close down their operation because of COVID? They worry that there's a stigma to that. So that's what I'd be concerned about in the coming months.
Interesting. Is the pendulum swinging back the other way? We saw food service completely devastated when restaurants shut down, and now we see the chain breaking in retail because of some of the meat packing plants and some of the things that we're seeing nationally with produce and bringing it to market being more expensive than just plowing over the fields. Is the pendulum going to swing back to where we're going to see folks buying or getting boxes of groceries from their favorite restaurants because local is taking that stand once again of knowing your farmer?
That's an interesting question, Greg. I know that a lot of restaurants have tried to get into it. I live in Evergreen, and there's a restaurant there who was basically allowing you to just they were going to go and get the groceries for you. And so it's interesting because I wonder if people are going to your point, if they will stay with local and seek out a grower. We're a little early right now in Colorado. Typically we wouldn't start having outdoor crops until the end of May, beginning of June. So we're not going to see that as much here in Colorado right now. But I would be interested to talk to some of my counterparts in California, and in Florida to ask them how, are these restaurants that can go direct? Are they really going direct, and are they doing more than just prepared meals? I would tell you my take is I'm finding it more exciting that the chefs that are switching and saying, we're going to, a chef reached out yesterday, a great friend of the show, reached out yesterday and said, he's switching his model to a grab and go. So I think if you're a good chef, you pivot that way as opposed to providing groceries, because you're providing, in a sense, the meals that people want and know you for and love. So I think that's the better pivot than just trying to provide groceries.
Yeah, I think you're right too. But I guess those relationships being curated or nurtured or developed. I want local products. I want local meats. Keegan Gerhard said today he couldn't find any chicken. Just no chicken in the pipeline for him. I think he's using one of the 2 or 3 distribution companies here locally with that. But I thought that was very interesting. That
he should call me. I got it.
You got some chicken?
I got some chicken.
Good. Give him a call.
Greg, you've got a chicken right there.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Squeeze it. Come on, Greg.
Hey, Richie. How's Rockalitas doing?
We're running and gunning. We got everything back in place. We're running all the lines today. Right now, I've been mostly working on cleaning. Look at this. I got this. I'm going to be making margaritas out of this stuff. Oh, hospital-grade sanitizer.
At a distance, that looked like, the trucker's restroom. I didn't know what that was on your counter there. Like, geez, Richie, your restroom's right behind you.
Let's see. Real high in vitamin B.
I'm rolling that video Little Rich sent me right now. Of watching some tortillas being made.
We've got a B-roll video that we're playing right now. Some tortillas being made. Richie, you've been down for a little while. Is today one of your first runs?
Well, we've been running flour. Today's the first full day of corn tortillas. Got those back up and running.
Far out.
And we'll be frying chips tomorrow. So everything's set to go. Everyone's loading up for Cinco de Mayo. Or Drinko de Mayo, as they call it.
Oh, see.
That's going to... I don't know what that'll resemble this year, but it should be interesting. I'm watching this right now for the first time. You're right, man. It's looking clean. It's looking good.
Yeah, we've been going through this place top to bottom.
It does look fantastic. I was lucky enough to hang out.
Now it's just up to me. I need to clean up my act, but, I've been this way for a long time. I don't think that's going to quite happen yet.
Hey, Zach, jump in on some of the things that you've just heard us talk about. You've never been one to not have an opinion.
No, I saw, I'll get to you in a second. I saw Rockalitas on Saturday morning, and it was looking top-notch.
Yeah, we were getting pretty clean in there.
You guys got a brand-new floor. Even Greg could dance on it.
I'm a good dancer, man.
Let me ask you, Greg, how many meals...
Hey, guys, I'm sorry. I got to cut out of here. I've got 4 pallets that we're loading up for We Don't Waste. My crew's gone, so God help us, I'll be operating the forklift.
Oh, God, take the video out there and just set it up on Larimer
Get off
Street.
the streets. If you're on Larimer Street, get off, because I'm getting ready to come out.
Later, Richie. Good to see your face.
We'll see you guys later.
I like the hair, man. It's laying down nicely. There's Richie. Zach, how many do what?
How many meals do you know how to cook for yourself? Just out of curiosity.
Hey, man, I'm a good cook.
No, I mean, how many do you know how to do for yourself?
Well, I mean, it's an endless number.
You've got an endless number of good stuff you can cook?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
I think you're in the minority there, I think. I think that most people are so sick of eating their own food after this long.
I see what you're saying. I think that the pivot is to like some grab and go or like having a more streamlined, better version of traveling food. I didn't know where you were going with that. You're right. But so I'll do a variation on a couple of things. Like I'll do a chicken at the beginning of the week, utilize some of that chicken breast for the tacos. And then the next day I'll put together I've been eating a lot of Mexican style food. I just think that right now that's translating well for me. Then I'll do some enchiladas. Then I'll take that and I'll make it into a stock and do a soup with that. So throughout the week, chicken is probably my primary go-to thing. And then I'll go back to some beef tacos as well. But I've been doing everything that I possibly can to buy every ingredient local. Brian, you like to cook.
I'm having a blast right now. I'll tell you what, a couple things are going on. One is I've got a new role in life. So I've got a little more time on my hands than I've had in the past. And I'm getting an opportunity to reconnect with a lot of the people that, being just the owner and the CEO and constantly running, I didn't have the time to really reach out to some of the farms that I work with and now more on the retail side of things that I'm specifically working on. And what's exciting is like today I just got this incredible box right here. I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, God help us.
So in the mail, I get like, it's a holiday. Look at what I'm getting. So I get all this small farm grown pork products that is interesting because it's we've eaten stuff out of this box, people in Denver, and not knowing because it's another local company uses that pork provider's meat and puts their name on it. And it's not our good buddy River Bear because I think his product stands on itself. He is fully transparent on his product. And so I love it because I'm learning the secrets, some of those hidden secrets that people would not like to be let out of where their food really comes from. And so I'm having a blast, man. And so tonight I'm going to go home and play with all those, with all those pork products.
I was going to say, I hope that hasn't been in the office for 2-3 days right there.
No. They just came. It just got dropped off today. We saw our good friend Robbie Hahn came down to the office today.
The Godfather.
And we had a big ice cream social with Boulder Natural Ice Cream. And
or Boulder Organic, yeah. Brian, you look good, man. Your smile looks good. Your hair looks good. And one thing, so Brian had a good idea the other day, guys. You want to hear it? Brian, do you even know what it is? It's not the potato thing. Emergency road trip.
Yes. Yep. And my emergency road trip, I've been working on some lodging for us. And potentially not this weekend, but if we go next weekend, I might have a place for us to stay in Palisade. Just saying.
Not at Brian Cox's place.
Nope, not at Brian Cox. Another one of our good friends, though, there in Palisade. Can you guess who it is? Who do you think I'm talking about?
I could probably guess. Even Jay would know the answer to that one. No, but are you going to say Carly?
Yes, indeed.
I was going to say Scott and Jess.
That's what I was thinking.
But Carly, yeah, we'll take you up on that.
He's got to go now.
The fairy godmother. I don't know, Zach. What do you think? Emergency road trip?
I think you should go and stay at Cox's house, Greg.
I do too. No pun on words, huh?
No. I mean, if you died from COVID-19, like
COVID Cox, that could be.
Gosh, I got to tell you, folks, if you didn't catch that show yesterday,
I know. Tell them what it was.
Get on there and see that. Brian, it was really interesting talking to Brian Cox from Black Bear Orchard.
Sobering.
About he ran the gamut with us. He talked all about farming, but then he talked about COVID from a very personal perspective that I don't know that we've had on the show yet of where, he was giving us the details of what he was going through himself and how it was affecting him and his family. And I thought that was an incredible interview. Now, the cool thing is also you can always go to our Facebook or our YouTube at The Modern Eater
and check it out
and search, because I today was talking to somebody about oysters and they said, oh, have you ever seen any Chesapeake Bay oysters? And I today was saying, by the way, we had them on the show and they were out harvesting oysters live on the show.
Did you see what's happening to those oysters right now since they haven't been harvesting them for restaurants? Just leaving them in the water? Zach, have you seen that?
Steaks, bud. They're like porterhouses.
I never knew. They're like, so in Maine, have you ever heard of a quahog? So a quahog is much larger oyster, but they are big. They're going to be, once you get back into the oyster game, into the restaurants, it's going to be... All right. What's your favorite thing to put on an oyster, Zach?
Oh, dude, we made for Stephen Waters at Run for the Roses. We made him a dry version of like a horseradish sauce or like shrimp sauce, like cocktail sauce.
That sounds delicious.
It's the whole deal. It is every piece of cocktail sauce without being wet, and it's friggin' bomb. So that's my favorite one to drop on there.
We should do a segment called Stump Zach, right? Just ask him a spice question. See if you
spice question.
Yeah. 4 minutes.
Well, I'd like to ask Zach. So, Zach, have you seen any of your wholesalers, any of the farms that you work with? Are they having any supply issues on the spice side of things?
So India just shut down like within the last, April 7th, they were shut down. So we haven't seen anything yet because things are here probably for about everything international is probably here for about a month before I get it, just being processed and cleaned and treated. But I just got a market report last week saying like there's some stuff coming down the pipe. Because in India, everything's locked down. It's not like here where it's kind of an optional. Are you essential? Are you not? What does essential even mean? There, it's 100% lockdown. So the farmers themselves are not being able to go out into the fields. So celery seeds in particular, I know for sure are not going to exist in December for anybody to purchase. And a handful of other things. We've got a lot of our stuff locked down. We'll see. I think the market price for a lot of stuff is going to go insane here for a second. But, we'll just have to see. It's the stuff coming out of Vietnam is doing really well. So we get all of our black pepper out of Vietnam and everything is on time and good to go. Cumin is going to be a big one. Cumin's in every single spice blend almost. And
really? Interesting. Just make sure you keep me in the garlic, in the paprika, in the salt, and in the pepper, and I should be able to. You know what's really good is your Korean rub.
You like that one?
Oh, brother, man.
Does that have a special twist on the end?
Well, it comes with a little thing at the end. It comes with something.
The Korean rub is delicious.
Meat at the end, and it sort of pats itself out.
So, Zach, would you speculate on any of those spices now, knowing that the prices are going up? Because in some ways, what is the shelf life that you like to keep a spice? How fast does the spice go down? Is it go down when it's whole versus ground?
So the maximum that our third-party audit will allow us to keep something is one date from receiving. And so, but that is really rare. Like I think I've had to throw like 2 things away and they were like special items that somebody just didn't go through as much as they thought they were going to. Generally I'm like, we order twice a week. So we do like 10,000 pounds 2 times a week. And that usually kind of holds us over with blends and what we need to get and make it all work. So we're thinking about doing some spot buying right now. But a lot of it is like we've diversified to be as American as we can, in which is like a weird thing to say in a world market. But that's our goal has always been like buy as much domestic product as possible. And we actually as a company in 2015 said we weren't going to buy any Chinese products. It was just like of our pillars, one of them is like a social equity piece and it just doesn't really exist in China at the moment. So we had just said before, like any Chinese products are not in our wheelhouse and we'll pay more to have American garlic and American onion and American paprika.
Good for you. And I would totally stand behind that. I did the same thing, Zach, a long time ago as well in my business. And it's more, for me, it was really just a big decision on the fact that you cannot trust the labeling. And one of the things that I really pride myself on is transparency, of letting people know, because I want to support local first. And, and for me, it was always, organic, local, and then everything sort of was behind that. Now I would say as I've gotten older, it's changed a little bit because it's local and then organic. The stuff behind that, but Chinese was just one thing that I just never felt like I could get real transparency behind. And, and it's not fair because a lot of people try to say that about Mexico and they don't realize that Mexico is governed by the European inspectors, which the European inspectors are actually way harder than anything in the US. And so quite honestly, I, at some levels would trust potentially a Mexican product more than I would trust, one that was.
We leased 2 farms in Mexico, and I've never had any issues from either one of them in 4 years of leasing them.
Hey,
so we have one in Baja and then one in Oaxaca, and we have never had a problem at all.
You punks know what time it is?
Dance time.
Get up and dance. Turn me up, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I want you up, Zach. Get up, Brian.
I don't dance for free, Greg.
Yeah. 3 middle-aged guys dancing. Thank you, Chef Keegan Gerhard. What an interview he had today. Deep Bar Denver. They're open for business. Order online. Go and pick it up curbside, or they'll deliver it to you. Chris Franklin, Levers Local Board. Thank you so much. Jonathan Shikes, Westward, Colorado Beer Man. Jay Parker, you're amazing. Of course, Little Rich Snyder, he took off. Zach Johnson, the Spice Guy. Brian Freeman, he invented produce. You know that. You guys have something good planned for tonight? Gonna eat some food?
Yeah. I'm going to Brian's house for that pork.
Oh, Greg, you can come on up, man.
Not a bad idea. What's on tap for tomorrow? We'll be at Molly's, and Brian Freeman, you'll be joining us at Molly's tomorrow.
Yes, we'll be at Molly's tomorrow afternoon.
We've got on Bob Pease from the Brewers Association. Sad stats saying 60% of craft breweries right here in Colorado shut down by summertime.
Yeah. New Image Brewing will be on. Cerebral Brewing will be on.
And Molly's Liquid Lounge tomorrow night from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Thanks. See y'all tomorrow. The Modern Eater Show continues. Bye.